Hi, everyone. It's Tyler from Insurance Advisors Direct with life, long-term care, and annuities. We had an excellent sales summit last week or 2 weeks ago now, I think. Time's moving by, but we brought Jack back for a recap on the Manhattan Life short-term care product that was a huge hit with our agent partners. So we're going to have Jack move into it just for 30 minutes or so, do an overview of the product again. We're going to record it so it's available for agents to listen to and refer to. And Jack, just take it away whenever you're ready. If we have any questions, feel free to leave them in the chat box for us at the end if we have time to answer them. If not, you can reach out to myself or Jack, and we'd be happy to help. So take it away, Jack.
Okay, thank you, Tyler. It's such a pleasure to be able to do this presentation again for Insurance Advisors Direct. It was a big hit a couple weeks ago when we were in Troy. I believe we had a lot of interest on Manhattan Life's OmniFlex short-term care plan. So let's go ahead and get moving with the plan itself. As you see there, that's a part of the brochure of the OmniFlex short-term care plan. And let's go ahead and let me go over a couple OmniFlex topics. What I'm going to cover today is number one, who needs OmniFlex? Two, product overview. Thirdly, the application, FAQs, and lastly, state availability. Anytime you talk about a new plan like OmniFlex, which kind of hit the national scene in 2023, there's going to be a lot of questions, a lot of tweaking along the way, and a lot of webinars that I have done. Like Tyler mentioned, if you would like to have a copy of this presentation, he'd be more than happy to send it to you. Let's look at OmniFlex on who needs it. Well, first of all, who doesn't? With the rising cost of health care all across the nation, it's not a matter of the carrier, whether it be Manhattan Life, Aetna, Humana. It doesn't make any difference about that. Our nation is being crippled with high costs when it comes to home care. Let me give you some examples here. The annual cost for a private room is up around $109,000. An annual cost for a semi-private room, right around $95,000. Let's look at the estimates in about 2030. And ladies and gentlemen, we're only talking about 5.5 years from now, that the estimations are looking at $124,000 per year for a semi-private room. Private room, up around $142,000. As I highlighted there, did you know, but let's look at some staggering statistics, and these stats aren't mine. They're not Manhattan Life's. This is what's going on in our country today with some of the statistics when it comes to who can get it, who can't. Almost 40%, that's 4 out of every 10, of those aged 66 to 69, and a staggering almost 48% of those over 70 are declined for traditional long-term care insurance. Now, I love long-term care insurance, but let's just face reality. Not everyone can afford it, and the declination rate is up around 30 to 40%. Another stat, about 3 of every 5, that's 60% of personal bankruptcies in this country are a direct result of overwhelming medical expenses. And around 8 of 10, 80% of these people had traditional health insurance. So as we look at this slide, before I go to the next point, we need to help our clients because the cost of health care is going and blowing the roof off. With the cost of long-term care insurance, services continue to rise, which is no mystery, and health eligibility requirements making it more difficult to qualify. That's why Manhattan Life has developed OmniFlex short-term care insurance. Now, a Manhattan Life or any other carrier in this country will not have the answers to all things, but we do have the answer to some things. This is why I think addressing this issue can help through Manhattan Life's OmniFlex plan. Some important forms that you'll want to get into your possession to learn more about the OmniFlex plan, as you see scanning across the screen. One of the most important is what's called the Agent Guide. Within the Agent Guide is about 20 to 25 pages of a myriad of different information about the OmniFlex plan, who to contact in the event of questions from underwriting to marketing to supplies or whatever it may be, different modal factors, and a variety of other answers to questions that you or your client may have. Number two, the brochure. Thirdly, right there is the medications list. I'm going to hit on that in about 5 slides from now. Lastly, FAQs. What are some of the more frequently asked questions surrounding Manhattan Life's OmniFlex plan? The outline of coverage is one of the most important forms when we talk about the OmniFlex short-term care plan, and here's why. The outline of coverage will give a bird's eye view of the many movable parts of this plan. Now, it's not the policy. The policy is about a 25 to 30-page document that each client receives when they are issued or approved for this plan. It's a more personal policy when it talks about the benefits, the different waiting periods, and things of that nature. But the outline of coverage will give you pertinent information on the plan itself. Now, I'd like to look at pages 1 and 2 and highlight a couple items. Of the outline of coverage, you'll look in the lower left-hand corner, I've highlighted a form number. And the reason is that this plan is approved in about 35 or 36 states in this country. And in some of the states, a generic outline of coverage will be used. But then also, in some states, in fact, about 2/3 of them, there are state-specific outline of coverages. So wherever you are offering this plan, whether it be a domiciled or a non-resident state, please make sure that you are referring to the outline of coverage approved in that state. On the left side at the very top, it kind of outlines what this plan is. Highlighted below, what I want to say is this: the policy does not provide long-term care insurance coverage. I'm highlighting a couple items here because I want to make sure that when I go over a training like this, that you mention to the client, you or your team, what this plan is and what it is not. So let's review quickly. It's not a long-term care plan. It's a short-term care. It's not a med-sub plan, and it's also not an MA plan. Let's go to the right side, and a part of the base plan is a nice feature called the prescription drug benefit. I'll talk more about that later, but this is one of the sizzles of the plan, because as we know, the vast majority of the people are on prescription drugs, and because they are on prescription drugs, when they have those prescriptions filled, there is a reimbursement, and that's my term. On a generic drug of $10, $25 on name brand or what's called patented products. Why is that important? Well, because it's a part of the base plan and there's no cost to this benefit, the client can send in for reimbursement where they can get up to a maximum of $300 per policy year reimbursed to them when they have their prescription drugs filled. Let's go to page 3 and 4. What do I want to highlight here? On the left side, it talks about optional benefit riders. So when you have the base plan, the client has the ability to purchase optional benefits. Now, anytime there's an optional benefit, that means there is an additional cost. But then it also makes the plan more robust and more comprehensive. Also on page 3, highlighted right there, there is one of the riders, home health care benefit rider with simple inflation. Let's go to the right side. There's also a hospital indemnity benefit rider. Going on to the next slide, let's look at page 5, and then also to the right, a sample face policy of the plan. And that is a sample. But let's look at the left. I am highlighting renewability. Why is that important? Anytime that you are going over this plan with a client, focusing on the important features of the plan, you can assure the client that regardless of their future health, the plan is guaranteed to renew. What does that do? It gives peace of mind to the client in knowing regardless what they're stricken with, if they are, we all are going to face adversity in the future. Whether they come up with a cancer or a heart attack or stroke or an accident, whatever it may be, peace of mind in knowing the plan is guaranteed to renew. Now let's go to the right side and talk about a sample face policy of an actual one. At the very top, it kind of goes over the client's name, the spousal discount if there is one, payment options, how are they paying for it, the effective date of the policy, the first policy anniversary date, and the modal premium. About the top third of the plan, that goes over the base features of the plan. For example, the elimination period, the benefit periods, the lifetime max, the short-term facility care simple inflation benefit, the prescription drug benefit. Right there, I kind of talked about that earlier. The lower half talks about the optional benefits if they elected it. For example, it talks about the elimination period, benefit period, and lifetime max. Home health care with simple inflation benefit if they purchased it. That's where it would be outlined. The hospital indemnity benefit rider if they purchased that. In this example, you're going to see some figures off to the right, which is indicating that this particular sampled client purchased the optional benefit of the hospital indemnity benefit rider. So when the client gets their policy, they will have what is called a 30-day free look. They will have 30 days to examine the policy. Is this what they thought they were purchasing and what you were offering them? If it is not, then they have the ability to return the policy to the home office. If any premiums were taken out, of course, those premiums will be refunded to the payer of the plan. Okay, let's look at some product overview. We have moved into the presentation about 14 minutes. Product overview, left side, right side. Let's talk about the left side of the slide first. Look what I'm circling here. Plan now for peace of mind later when having to deal with the unexpected. Look, that's what insurance is, isn't it? Whether it be the Omniflex short-term care plan or home health care select plan, final expense, whatever the plan is that we offer, what does it do? It provides peace of mind because, ladies and gentlemen, we do not know what adversity anyone's going to face, whether it be through an accident, a sickness, or illness. But this I can tell you, all of us face adversity sometime. All of us have examples within our own personal family, friends, relatives, members of our church or civic organization, folks who have had to face adversity, whether it be in the need of a short-term care plan or whatever it may be. Adversity is going to knock at our doors. It's all about this thing I'm highlighting here, being prepared. The hardest thing to do is get insurance after the event. It's like people not having life insurance now. Someone dies and they want to get insurance on that person that's passed. It doesn't work that way, does it? Well, it's the same way with a short-term care plan or any of our other plans. Preparing for the unexpected. And when you look at the base plan, what will we give them peace of mind on? That the policy automatically includes coverage for nursing homes, the facilities, assisted living facilities, hospice care facilities, bed reservations. And there's that famous thing that I talked about, the prescription drug reimbursement. In the event that the client chooses an optional rider, what's included here? Well, you plan with these optional benefits in the way of home health care rider, hospital indemnity rider, 5% simple inflation benefit. As we go over to the right, you're going to see I'm highlighting two different things. One of them is availability and the optional benefits. Since this page is a little small, I'm going to take out the top part and let's talk about it on this slide here. Availability. Let me hit on some points. The client's age can be between 45 and 89. It's a simplified issued plan. It's two-tiered underwriting. I'll go over that in about 3 slides from now. Guaranteed renewable. I've hit that pretty hard when we was talking about the outline of coverage. Base plan highlights. Facility care daily benefit from $50 to $400 in $10 increments. And as I go through this particular slide and the next one, just look at the latitude that the client has to build the plan that best fits their need, because everybody's different. You've got single with children, single, you got married, you got the elderly or the seniors or whatever it may be. Everyone is different. And with Omniflex, they have the ability to build the plan that suits them. Elimination period choices, there are 4 of them: 0, 20, 60, or 90 days. Benefit period, 4 choices again: 90, 180, 270, or 360 days. There's a lifetime maximum benefit period of 2 times the benefit period. Also a bed reservation benefit. What are some of the built-in benefits? I've already highlighted the prescription drug benefit. $10 reimbursed on generic, $25 on name brand or patented drugs. Max per policy year, $300. Now let me mention one thing while I'm here. When the policy is issued, the client can immediately start receiving reimbursements for their prescription drugs filled at the time of issuance on. Of course, they can't reach back into the past. But a person does not have to be on claim for any of the base plan or optional riders to execute the prescription drug benefit. That can start day 1. Fast 50. What does this do? It waives the elimination period on facility care or home health care benefits to receive 50% level of accumulated daily benefit, perfect for care provided by a spouse, family, or friends. When you get the agent guide, the brochure, or the outline of coverage, it goes more in detail on the Fast 50. The restoration of benefit restores facility care or home health care benefits after the 180 days out of care need is satisfied, and that is under the auspices of the client's physician. They are the ones that determines when a person goes off claim. So that is when the restoration of benefit kicks in, up to a lifetime max benefit period. Now, let's go to the next slide and let's talk about the optional benefits. Home health care. Home health care daily benefit, $50 to $300 in $10 increments. There again is this flexibility to build their own plan. Elimination period, there are 4 of them: 0, 20, 60, or 90. Benefit periods, 90, 180, 270, or 360. Lifetime maximum benefit period is 2 times the benefit period selected. Then you have the simple inflation benefit. If chosen, here again it's a rider. The simple inflation applies to facility care as well as home health care, if the home health care rider is also elected. Hospital indemnity benefit. Wow, look how we're building a nice comprehensive plan. The daily benefit, $50 to $300 in $10 increments. Benefit period, 3, 6, or 20. Lifetime maximum benefit period, 180 days. Now, one thing I want to hit on this slide is the word called triggers. Triggers, which is under the control of the client's physician. When they go on claim, what's got to happen? Where the physician says that the client cannot perform 2 or more of the ADLs, which are bathing, continence, dressing, eating, toileting, or transferring to a better chair, or they suffer from a cognitive impairment, such as Alzheimer's or dementia. Now let's take a look at the application. The application that I'm demonstrating here is if a person does a paper app, which is fine. Some agents are old school. They like to do face-to-face presentations, and they like to fill out paper, which is fine. But I also want you to know that once you are appointed, you can offer this plan through the 2.0 electronic platform, which basically means, for example, I'm in Georgia in the city of Atlanta. I want to take care of a client in the city of Savannah. That's about 300 miles east toward the Atlantic Ocean. I can literally sell them this Omniflex plan or any of our other plans offered through the Lighthouse series electronically. I can take care of the client without seeing them. Now, all of the questions that you see here on this paper app are going to be on the electronic app, but of course it's not going to be paper, is it? It's all going to be completed electronically. First of all, I want to talk about the applicant information. Applicants can be used for one or two applicants. So, to that point, if you have a husband and a wife, they complete the plan. They don't have to have the exact plans, but they both participate in the Omniflex plan, and they live in the same residence. They will get a 10% discount. It's called a household discount. I'm going to hit on that again shortly. The address. Applicant's resident state must match the materials being used. You kind of listen, what I mentioned earlier when I was talking about the outline of coverage, that there are state-specific OLCs. There's also state-specific applications or whatever it may be. So you want to make sure that you're using the exact forms, OLC, agent guide, rates, or whatever it may be for the state where the client resides or the non-resident. Now, I want to mention something while I'm right here as a reminder. Even though this plan is not approved in all states, let's just say Florida, for example, because it's not approved there. But let's say that the client's in Georgia. Well, they would have the plan based on a Georgia resident, wouldn't they? However, let's say that they moved to Florida after the policy is issued. This plan is portable. It goes no matter where, it goes with them, no matter where they reside in this country. So it's portable. The key is it is issued in a state where it is approved at the time of application. Okay, current in-force coverage is just indicate whether the applicants have existing coverage in force. And look here at the bottom, household discount. Indicate if applying for a home health care discount. So the discount, like I mentioned earlier, husband and wife live in the same residence, and they take out the plan at the same time. 10 points off. Now, let's go to page 2. This is where you start populating what the client wants to, what type of plan, what type of comprehensive plan they want to elect. The daily benefit amount, please ensure the daily base amount is chosen. There's the elimination of benefit periods, and there's the riders. All you do is just ask them what they want and fill out the application, or when you do it electronically, you can answer the same way. Now, let's go to the health questionnaire. This is the application. You're going to see at the very top, it says, well, first of all, please answer each health question. Questions not answered will likely result in delays in processing. That's kind of a no-brainer, isn't it? But when you look at Part 1, if a client, and I'm highlighting several things here because it's things to really pay attention to, calls the underscored word that it used, like, for example, in 2. Are they currently? Number 3, are they currently answering yes to any of these questions? Look at 4. That's a 12-month look back. Number 5 is a 24-month look back. So it's just a matter of familiarizing yourself with the application. So if a client answers yes to any of Part 1, they will not get the plan at all. As you go on to Part 2, if the client answers yes to any of these questions, they are, of course, going to be limited to a certain amount of benefits, and, of course, they cannot get those simple inflation rider. Here again, familiarizing yourself with the application. You're going to see on Part 2, there's a 24-month look back. Now, let me review the two-tiered underwriting. Number 1, on Part 1, it's used to determine overall plan eligibility. Like I mentioned earlier, if any answer to questions Part 1 is yes, the applicant is not eligible. Part 2, if the client answers yes to any of these questions, They are, of course, they are limited on the maximum of $100 daily benefit on the base policy, the home health care rider, and the hospital indemnity rider. And they also cannot participate in the simple inflation benefit. Okay, there's the next page. It's a matter of signatures. Just advancing through it. Restricted medications. You're going to see several pages coming across here. What we're talking about is just familiarizing yourself with the medication list, and you're going to see that the questions that are red, those are knockout prescriptions, and the green or the teal color are medications that may result in a personal history call from the home office. Let's go over a couple of FAQs. Number one, is the plan gender-based? It's no. Male, female have the same rates. Does the rates increase? No. It's an issue plan, which means that whatever the premium is at the time of issuance, it stays the same as long as the client has the plan and, of course, is paying for it. How much for generic drugs? How much for name brand? 10 for generic, 25 for name brand. Can a person own more than one Omniflex? The answer is no. And the one-time $25 policy fee application, it is commissionable. Where is the plan approved as of this date? There you see the map. It's in about 36 states, I believe, at the time of this broadcast. As more states are added, of course, I'll let Tyler know. Well, let's do an Omniflex summary. Simple two-tiered underwriting. You have the Fast 50 cash benefit, very affordable premiums, built-in $300 per year prescription reimbursement benefit, full benefits and full custodial home health care. There's the inflation rider, spousal discount of 10%, optional indemnity rider, facility, and home hospice. Well, I think we're right on time, about 29 after the hour. And what I'm going to do is turn this back over to Tyler. And let me say this, thank you so much for being a part of this presentation. I do trust it was informative and insightful to you. Okay, Tyler, back to you.
Yeah, thanks, Jack. That was right on the nose. Well done. So, yeah, what a tool to have in your toolkit going into this space, and then on top of that, folks, if you have not gotten a sales kit from myself, please reach out to me or the office and ask for me. I'd be happy to get that to you. It's got more than just the OmniFlex application brochure, underwriting questions and list. It's got some one-pagers that talk about the general long-term care space and such to spark some interest. It's even got a pre-built campaign in there if you're looking for a new idea for the summertime to bring in some income during the off season. It's a pretty robust tool. I'd be happy to get that to you folks. But briefly here, if anyone has any questions, please leave them in the chat right now, and Jack and I would be happy to answer them. And give a couple minutes for that. Does not look like any questions. Going once, going twice. All right, great. Well, hey guys, thanks for taking your time today to hop on the webinar with Jack and I. Again, please reach out to IAD and ask for Tyler for that sales kit or any promotional material for Manhattan Life. And have a great rest of your afternoon, Jack. Thanks for coming on today.
It's a pleasure. Have a great afternoon, all.
All right. Bye, guys.